We'll continue with ordinance 10-12, which is an ordinance of the Township of Jackson authorizing the dedication of Block 18902, Lot 22.03, to the County of Ocean in order to facilitate the Open Space Fund Natural Lands Trust Program. At this time, we'll have a public hearing on ordinance 10-12 only. Anyone wishing to speak on this ordinance may do so at this time. Please address the council at the microphone, pronounce your name, spell it, and please give your address.
Paul Merowitz. Block number 18902, lot number 22.03. According to the Ocean County Board of Taxation, the property is owned by BG Investments and not the Township of Jackson. The property is located on Toms River Road, and the owner is, as I said, BG Investments, 208 Glen Avenue, South, Lakewood. I confirmed this morning with our tax assessor, who indicated that the lookup that I did was indeed correct.
Thank you, Paul.
Mr. Torres, wasn't this property transferred?
This property was a request from the county for us to make it part of the trust, the Open Space Trust. Correspondence did go to Corporation Counsel's office. It was reviewed. The ordinance was prepared. There is no map. There's just blocking lots that was indicated by the councilman attached. So there would be no way of really knowing, Mayor and council members, whether there's no deed to it. It just came as a request from the county.
I would definitely recommend it. We hold on this and make sure first thing tomorrow morning and notify the county post haste if there is indeed a mistake, which apparently, according to Mr. Merowitz, there is.
And that would also satisfy the part of that in the future. There should be actually property maps showing the blocking lots of the property.
I requested more than property maps, and I said at the last meeting, I want the property maps, and I want some sort of cross-reference with the street that are on it. We have to have that, and all the names that it entailed. When you get into this land use, they change names as much as Carter got little liver pills. They just change names, and change names. They come in front of us, and we got to have it back up to all the names. Somebody may know it as one name that dealt with it 3 years ago. Somebody may know. We have to have that in the ordinances.
Just having the name that wouldn't clarify
so I think
the
that
title.
tabling this ordinance would be in order.
I have no problem tabling, but I think we need that in the future, and you'd probably find that you won't get into these problems.
You may need to go to a title company and make sure that the ownership itself is an issue rather than the description of the.
I understand that, but we can move forward, and most of the time, if you have that, we wouldn't get this far. Okay, so do we need a motion to table that, Mr. Ferran?
Mr. Bressi, may I approach Mr. Torres and give him the backup?
Please.
That's embarrassing.
Thank you.
Do we have a motion then, Paul? Are you done? To table 10-12? Yes.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
What was?
Councilman Kafton.
What was the
Yes.
motion? I'm sorry.
Councilman Martin.
Yes.
Pull. Okay.
Councilwoman Revere.
Yes.
Council Vice President Updegrave.
Yes.
And Council President Bressi.
Yes.
And I just want, for the public's edification, there'll be no further advertising on this ordinance. This ordinance is tabled to, I'm assuming you want it next meeting?
Yes.
May 24th, so there'll be no further notice on this.
Right.
April
24th.
It's the next council meeting, April 24th.
What is the purpose that we are giving this to the county, by the way?
That was for road widening.
I don't know.
It's warm, yeah.
Continue with ordinance 12-12, which is an ordinance of the Township of Jackson authorizing the acquisition of the fee simple interest in land owned by Havbuilt, Inc. At this time, we will have a public hearing on ordinance 12-12 only. Anyone wishing to speak on this ordinance may do so at this time. Please address the council at the microphone, pronounce your name, spell it, and please give your address.
You tell me the block and lot number is wrong on this one, too. I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah.
Please.
Paul Mayerowitz. Mr. Martin, if you lose your mind, what does that mean?
Just talk. What's up?
Please commence losing your mind.
Oh, great.
When this ordinance was originally presented at first reading, it had lot and block numbers that were pre-reevaluation. The ordinance has been amended to include the current block and lot numbers. However, block 17802, lot 57, is not in the Ocean County Board of Taxation database. The properties owned by Hub-Built are on blocks 10401, 11201, and 11404, but there is no block 1782 that is owned by Hub-Built. With your permission, Mr. Bresci, I can provide that same backup to Mr. Torres.
Please.
Exactly who is doing the research before we get this stuff?
Where did block and lots come from?
Besides Mr. Marowitz?
What's going on?
Well, don't forget, with the lot and blocks, when they converted over also, and there was a subdivision done for this so they can do the sale, if you recall. That might not be registered yet.
And also from the individual from the public trust, Mayor Cindy Roberts.
I get the names mixed up, the first and the last name, so I just say yes now, because last time I got the ladies' names mixed up, both of them. I would request the same, Mr. Torres, not only with the county, but meeting with Tony Nagel-Rowe and make sure anything that comes up on an ordinance has been verified before it even makes it to this dais. Thank you.
Motion to close the public portion?
Second.
All in favor?
Can we move forward with this? I'm sorry.
We can.
Aye.
We got to pull this one, too, don't we?
If you pull it, the sale will be over.
I have to say, we're looking really sharp tonight.
I
We
have
are looking like a pack of morons, and I'm sorry.
I have a couple questions on this, actually. My questions, whether we move forward or not, are still going to need to be answered.
I think the first thing on that would be the attorney.
Well, if we're not certain of the lots and blocks, it doesn't seem to make much sense to go forward unless we feel that these are correct. Mr. Torres, these lots and blocks came from them, didn't they?
Yeah, that's correct, sir.
I mean, they gave us these lots and blocks, so presumably they know what lots and blocks they have.
Presumably not.
I would say the table.
I don't think we have a choice. Have a motion to table it?
So move.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call, please, to table it.
Councilman Kafton.
Oh, my God, this is ridiculous.
We look so stupid. Everyone.
Sure, why not?
No, not at all, because
It's a good meeting so far.
Councilman Martin?
Yeah.
Councilwoman Revere?
Yes.
Council Vice President Updegrave?
Yes.
And Council President Brizzi.
Yes.
I do have questions on that ordinance. Should I present them this evening, or maybe we can get the answers to these questions before this comes up again?
There's nothing to question, Michael. There's no.
Well, are we assuming that it will come up again?
I don't know.
So you might as well ask the questions now if we're going to have to change the ordinance anyway. But
Yes, I would like to ask these questions. Apparently that the township will be pitching in 20% of the purchase price of $2 million, which comes out to $400,000 out of our open space. With that, we would acquire 46% undivided fee interest in the land in the western assemblage and 47% undivided fee interest in the land in the eastern assemblage of the property. My question is, and I believe it was a similar question, was how much of that is uplands? How much of it is wetlands that we would be acquiring, and how much of it is uplands, wetlands? Uplands and wetlands.
The answer to that was not obtained yet. Until the maps were approved by the DEP, you wouldn't have a concrete answer on that. It is to open space, and it is a reduction of homes.
Well, here's why I'm asking. Although the county and the state use their open space trust fund money to purchase wetlands. I don't think ours should be designated to purchase wetlands. We created the Open Trust Fund in Jackson Township to slow down residential growth and also provide for uplands. I don't think we should be buying wetlands because you can't build on wetlands. So why spend taxpayers' money buying wetlands?
I know part of that was not wetlands, some of it was upland because there's 53 or 63 individual homes on it.
I just want to know.
The exact answer I cannot give you.
All right, that's what I need to know. If the portion that the township is purchasing, is it viable uplands or is it wetlands? And with all due respect, I'd like to see the proof of that answer.
Thank you.
The other part of that question goes on to the second page where it says on here, whereas following the purchase, the Township of Jackson wishes to authorize the future transfer of the aforementioned lots to the County of Ocean and the State of New Jersey, as well as the acceptance of property from the Trust for Public Lands. The question I have to you is, does that mean the land that we're going to use taxpayer money of $400,000, we're going to transfer that to the county?
For open space.
Why are we transferring that to the county? If we're spending our $400,000, why are we transferring that money to the county? Or transferring that land?
There's the whole Barnegat Bay issue with keeping the bay clean and open space and leaving it open, and they would maintain it.
Council President?
Yes.
The parcel in question, Councilman Cafton, is will become part of Collier's Mills Wildlife Management Area. It will still be for use for passive recreation. The part that our contribution specifically states, I do believe, and Mr. Torres, correct me if I'm wrong, you were at the second meeting, I was not, is the part, it was, I think, Section 5 that was taken out of the Have-Built application, which was fully buildable lands. Regardless of the fact of we turn it over to the county or not, the township in the past has gone through that practice of taking open space land acquired from the tax rolls and giving it to Collier's Mills Wildlife Management Area for all to enjoy. It wasn't specifically designed just for Jackson Township residents. And the county's involved in that, so it's the benefit of everyone who uses that land. But the area specifically states that we've taken 50-some-odd homes out of that mix, a total of 100 and some odd acres.
I believe it was 53.
So, Mayor, then you're telling me you're answering my first question, which is the 47 and 46% that the township is putting up money for is viable uplands.
Yes.
Yeah,
so then why would we give viable uplands?
I said I didn't know the exact acreage. I said there was 53 homes approved on it, so it could not have been wetlands. That's what I stated at each meeting, Mr. Cafton.
So you're telling me that it's viable uplands. Why are we giving away viable uplands? Taxpayers' money, we should be keeping it right here in Jackson Township for future use, possibility for Jackson for recreation, not handing it off to another agency.
The agency resides in the county. It's still used in public space for passive recreation, like everything's been done in the past, and numerous ordinances that were passed prior to this administration inside of Collier's Mills.
Well, okay.
Which would include Jackson residents and others.
Well, then if that's the case, whenever we do get the correct block and lot, I will be voting no.
Thank you. Any further questions?
I'll get $400,000.
Yeah, and I just wanted the public to know that that ordinance 12-12 has been tabled to April 24th, 2012. There'll be no further notice on that.